Hello, this is Queen Chrysolite Owens, the founder of the International Voice Coalition. And this week is for my account as a targeted individual. And this is the week January the 14th through January the 20th of 2024. And this is a makeup video. And this is for me being targeted by the FBI via the Black Op Federal Group that's funded by the Criminal Justice Department of the United States of America. And just in case there are some newcomers to this channel, briefly what this is a secret operation or secret operations of illegal experimentational programs that is operated and authorized by the Justice Department and by these secret dark elites within and without and outside of the government. But they like to target us because we are, Christians, of a sacred, divine, royal bloodline. It could be anything. It could be political because we are geniuses, we're creative. They may think we are a threat or economical threat or something like that. But whatever it is, we are on special lists, secret lists. It's not a conspiracy, it is a real conspiracy. Because a lot of us have experienced, and we are still experiencing, all of this persecution and all of this torture and different kinds of levels. But definitely with the biometric electromagnetic technology, okay? That's what they're experimenting on us with as well. Anyway, that's just a brief introduction for the newcomers that come across this channel. And it's not only that we're making awareness of this situation, we're also about change, a voice of change and solutions to these problems and prevention of these problems in the future by having laws passed and developing different types of programs and solutions to help us, to help all of us. But anyway, for my account, me personally, a lot of y'all may not know this, and some of y'all already know that I work as a transporter of rental cars at one of the major companies, rental companies, and it's hers via a staffing company known as the MLS, Managed Labor Solutions. But anyway, this week in particular, I believe this week it was cold. It was freezing temperatures this week. And so I was only able to, I believe this was the week that I made up for my hours. I think this was the week that I pretty much made up for my hours. I think it was. Or it may be the next week after that. It may actually be the week 21st and on to, I believe it was this week. I think I'm trying to see the 28th. Okay, that's another video that I have to make up as well. But for this week, it was really cold this week. Very, very cold. And so I missed a lot of days this week. I had to, I think I did. And actually last week was the week that I made up my hours. I believe this week, this was the week that the weather was really bad. I think it was a Sunday. I think it was the Sunday, it was the 20th, when the weather was really, really bad. So part of this week, it didn't start getting cold until real cold until I believe it was the 20th. So I don't want to say, but anyway, I just know that the 14th, I could be wrong though. I could actually be wrong. Because I'm trying to see, but anyway, I'm gonna get off the weather subject because I don't want this video to be too long. I'm gonna make it brief. Basically, it's the same thing. The stalking, the gang, but it's not as bad. But it's still being done. It's called. It's not gang. Well, it still is gang stalking, but when it's at work, it's a new name for it. It's called shadow stalking. It's a covert way of psychologically jabbing at you and to let you know that you're being watched. It's kind of like a mind game thing. But they're tagging. It's what they're really doing is tagging. And they could also be part of the actual laser electromagnetic technology that's being aimed at us. They could actually be the agents that's hitting us somehow with it. Or they are telling them exactly what spot that you are at so that they can, accurately hit you more readily with it. But whatever the case is, it's called shadow stalking. In my case, it's shadow stalking. I don't know about a lot of y'all that is, y'all experience has been targeted individuals. But anyway, that's basically what they did. The headaches have decreased a lot. But I still had them that week. I still had the headaches because y'all know that I'm a business mogul. I'm still kind of like stuck though. I'm stagnated. I don't stop though. I keep coming up with more ideas and open up more stores. I haven't stopped. It's been like 10, 12 years now. And I just keep going. So with it, and I open up stores online. I like to experiment a lot, like to beta test and see if this will work and that'll work. But the real reason why I haven't been successful with it is because of the FBI, of this black op group. Because they have been hurting my finances, stopping and blocking my finances. And what they would do is the leader of this group, this black op federal group, what he would do is he would have his team to sneak behind my back and call different places and even bribe them and give them money to do what he want them to do and tell them to go ghost, go silent. So that's what he would do. So I've had a lot of business opportunities, and I was a little bit successful with them, but it was short-lived because of this very situation that they don't just watch. I don't know what a lot of y'all TI individuals have experienced with these government vigilante goons that they put forth their hands on your finances. They don't just watch and see if you're going to commit this fairy tale crime they made up. What they like to do is they like to watch you to see how they can destroy your businesses, see how they can destroy what you're building. That's why they watch you. It's not that they are afraid of you building the businesses. They want to watch you so that they can to watch you, and so they can go behind your back and destroy them. And it's the women that are in the supervisory positions are the masterminds behind this. So if you are a female target, that, oh boy, get ready, because they are the masterminds. They're the ones that are helping the leader destroy your businesses, destroy your finances, so that they can keep up with their illegal experiments on you with the biometric technology. So that's what they like to do, is watch you build these businesses so they can sneak behind your back and call these people and tell them a bunch of lies, or threaten them, or they will bribe them with a whole lot of money, and then they will go ghost on you. Because they tell them, oh, go, don't say nothing to them, don't make no contact with them, because they don't want to see you get rich, get wealthy. Because it will stop their illegal experiment and their hidden agendas. And usually the ones that gets on this list, they want to eliminate them. They want to experiment and get all the benefits as much as they can get out of them, and get them as much as wealth and riches they can get. And then after that, they use the technology to slowly kill them off, or whatever, however they want to do it. And the leader of this group that's after me, he is a devil worshiper. He worships Lucifer, the devil. He is a warlock. And how he does with his victims, he likes to kill them, blood sacrifice them, especially if they are of a high ranking in Christ, in God. Now, that is what's on my account. That's what's happening to me. That's what they've been done, destroying my finances. For 15 years I've been in Texas. Altogether 20, at least about 20 years. Definitely 20 years, especially when I left Georgia. But when I was in Georgia, they were still watching my finances. When I opened up a business, if I were to get online and work online, and they would make it very difficult for me, then I would leave Georgia and go to Florida. They will follow me there, and people would tell me, oh, the feds followed her to Florida. Okay? And then God opened my eyes up. I started having vision. I see them in vision. Then the next day, and God would tell me to look behind me. I would see one talking on his APB. They be already put out APBs on me. Okay? Follow me all the way to Florida. Okay? They eventually track me down. Okay? And when I go to a hotel or something like that, they'll follow me there and, watch me online. I'm telling y'all, you can't make this stuff up. Okay? You can't make it up. And I know y'all wondering, the new ones that's new on here, I'm going to tell y'all how I got in this mess. Okay? In 1998, I worked at Wendy's Old Fashioned Hamburgers. And I left there, I worked there about several years. Okay? And I left there and decided, I had an old friend. She's a Christian friend, and she worked with me at Wendy's Old Fashioned Hamburgers for about, I think, a year or two, and then I didn't see her no more. And so when 1998 came, I decided that I was going to quit Wendy's, and, I saw the sign that said, customer service specialist wanted $7 an hour. And when I saw that $7 an hour, that was intriguing to me. And so I decided to go over there and investigate. And then I saw my old, friend, Christian friend that worked with me at Wendy's, and she was a supervisor. And so I asked her, and she told me, oh, you can come over here, Val. You'll be perfect for the customer service specialist. And so long story short, I got hired there. Okay, everything was horky-dory, the customers fell in love with me, and all of this, one thing led to another. And then all of a sudden, I found out that, you know, I was on a commercial, with Steve Winwood commercial, that Brian and his co-partner, he had a radio show. He was like a DJ, a local DJ, like, but he was pretty famous to be a local. But, you know, it can be heard on the local radio. So anyway, long story short, you know, I got the position. You know, my Christian supervisor friend and another supervisor talked to Brian and got him to give me a raise, and this stuff happened so quick. And so, you know, there it was, you know. But the thing is that Brian didn't get my permission to do that commercial. I didn't give him no kind of permission to do it. And he made money with it, okay? And my Christian friend, she asked him, would he buy me a $2,000 car and everything? And I think he felt offended by that, you know. And I didn't tell her to do it. I didn't put her and the other supervisor to do anything. They just did it because I was a good person, because, you know, I cared about the customers, and, you know, the customers had fell in love with me, you know, with my customer service. So, you know, I don't want to go too long with it, but I just want people to understand how this really happened, why the FBI is really after me. I just want y'all to know this, what really happened. So when y'all see this stuff on the news or the media, y'all can see, you know, I've been trying to get my voice heard for years. Okay, anyway, all of this stuff happened so quick, and what I didn't realize at the time was that Brian and his cop friends he had them to put a bug on my bicycle. And we now know that all of his employees that he felt that he couldn't trust, that he put a bug on their vehicle, okay? Which is illegal. That's illegal. That's organized crime, okay? But at the time, I didn't have no knowledge of. Y'all know how old I was in 1998? Some of y'all may not know that, but I was about 25 years old. I was about 25 going on 26. I was a young lady. I was real young. And my whole thing was, I just wanted to just have me 2 jobs so I could make enough money to get out of the situation I was in a trailer park, okay? And I was trying to, y'all know how it is. It's kind of like living in the ghetto. Times were hard, you know, but a lot of us, we bootstrapped our way up. You know, we worked very hard to get where we were. And that's the whole thing. I was 25 when I started working for Brian Bond. But and y'all are wondering, you know, did he get away with it? Well, he's part of a lot of secret society. He's part of that. You know, he was popular. You know, y'all just get ready to read the book that's coming out this year. And that's going to go in further detail about it. And, you know, I just want y'all to know how this really got started. And y'all want to know, you know, if I did something, well, when I left Wendy's and went to Burger King, he put the bug on the bicycle that same week. That same week, he put that bug on that bicycle. And when my friend, my Christian friend, she found out about it, and the other managers, they were horrified. They was raising heck about it. It's like, oh, that's not right. That's not right. That is illegal. That's so wrong. How he could do her like that? And they didn't know I was hiding it. I wasn't really hiding, but this Burger King I worked at in Douglas, Georgia, it was elaborate. It was like very gorgeous inside, very glamorous. You know, it's like going into like a 5-star restaurant, one of them fancy ones. This one was a fancy Burger King. okay? It had these big, like, tropical plants, big, very, very gorgeous ones inside of the restaurant. So the table, they couldn't see me, but I could see them and I can hear everything they were saying. So yeah, and now we know, that Brian Vaughn and his crooked cop friends in Douglas, Georgia, that they were the ones that got all of this started. And I'm gonna speed it up, okay? About 2 months after that, I started writing this man in prison, pen paling this man, and his name was Charles Blazingame. I started pen paling him. Okay, that whole time they had my bicycle on, and was broadcasting me talking. All the while I worked for Brian from 1998 to 2000. Okay, so I worked for him for about 2 years. So that's a long time. They were steady broadcasting it live. Everything I said and talked about, they had everything. And I guess they must have scared my Christian friend. People weren't talking because they assumed that I was being paid money. He was paying me money to do all that stuff. No, he was not. Brian was not paying me no money to be broadcasting my personal life all over that city, the city of Douglas. That just was not happening, okay? I didn't even know he was doing it, y'all. I did not have no knowledge of that until all hell started breaking loose, until probably about, probably 2000 and somewhere in 2001, I knew something was up because people were acting different. That's the first thing I noticed. People was acting really weird, like their whole attitude and everything changed. And it wasn't until sometimes in 2002, all the stuff started breaking out, okay? So now in 2003, then all the stuff started coming out then. And that was the mayor at that time, Max Lockwood. He got word back to me, and other people got word back to me that Brian Vaughn had payroll cops that put a bug on my bicycle when I left Wendy's and went to start working for him that very week. And they broadcasted it all over the city of Douglas, Georgia. And also, they had started, made up a bunch of lies with the GBI and Newton County, where that dude I wrote in prison used to work as an ex-deputy lieutenant sheriff, or whatever you call it. But they had got a detective from Newton County, Georgia, and they got stuff riled up with him and the GBI and the feds, the FBI. And probably even the CIA. They got a lot of stuff started, and they put my house, everything under surveillance, and then they took the tapes and released the tapes to CNN. Okay, that's what they did. That's what Max Lockwood said, that Brian Vaughn's cop friends, that his payroll cops were in the loop and teamed up with John Sweat, Rob Smith, and all of them, and they went to CNN and released those tapes. Okay? That's what they did. But I'm going to leave it right there and go back to the situation at my job in my office. So I just wanted to give people a little bit of insight into how this got started with me, how I became a targeted individual. I probably was one before all of that happened. Because these people has got ways of finding out who we are. Our nation has got a lot of dark secrets. A lot, and it's not a conspiracy, it's a real conspiracy. Okay, they got all kinds of stuff. They put us on secret lists probably after we were born. okay? And they watch and wait to see if we're going to become famous in some type of way or if we're going to get in trouble. And then they go behind and hide their hidden agendas behind whatever it is that has got you in the spotlight. So that's what happened, y'all. Y'all are wondering how in the hell the government has got me on the top list, the FBI's most wanted. So I had to tell y'all that backstory so y'all can understand what really, really, really is going on. What is really going on. So anyway, y'all, this week I'm going to end this video in a few minutes. The same thing, they were shadow stalking me. This week it was getting ready to get cold if it wasn't already cold. I think that temperature had already hit. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that temperature had already hit. So we had like 2 weeks of cold. That week was cold, and the week before that was cold as well. But it was 1 week that it was really, really cold. I think it was also a week that rained every day. It just rained. But definitely this week we had some cold temperatures. Same thing, gang stalking or shadow stalking, and they would still hit me with lasers off and on that week. You know, they hit me with lasers, but the thing is, I didn't have headaches every day though. I didn't have headaches every day, and it was still doing the gaslighting and the reverse gaslighting, which, and some people don't know what reverse gaslighting is. What it is it's nonverbal gaslighting. They don't talk and make you look bad. They will do it and like in actions. They will do little plots and twists. They'll pre-plan all this stuff out. And I'm not allowed to say their names because y'all know I still work there, of course. And pretty soon I may be leaving that job. Pretty soon God is going to take me up out of there. Because, you know, it's just time. It's not just because they are, you know, they're harassing me, but it's just time. It's just time. It's long overdue. It's like 2 years overdue. I supposed to have been leaving Texas in 2021, the very beginning of 2022. That's supposed to be the very end of my career in blue collar work. Okay, so they managed to manipulate and weasel their way on me for 2 more years. Okay. So anyway, that's what they did. And at the office, the same thing. It's bugged. The office is bugged. They're camped out around it or in it or both. It don't matter how they do it. It's the office is bugged and everything. Okay, so I have to be careful about what I do when I'm at the office, because they can see inside of that office and they broadcast everything out. They watch everything I do online, all of that. Okay, so basically that's all that happened with that week. And then I didn't tell y'all this. Some of y'all that's new on this channel, there is a dark celebrity witch, and the initials of her name is EB. It also is known as EW. And she also is responsible for a lot of my persecution and a lot of dark stuff that she done to me for the last 4 years that she was masterminding along with the FBI in that black op federal group. She has her own little secret society going on, apparently. And she's a celebrity witch that lives here in Dallas, Texas. Yeah, she's well known, and, you know, to some people she's an icon, you know, but it doesn't matter. Her name is coming out in this book. But the reason why I'm also referencing her this week is because DART, the transportation, the public transportation, they worship her. She is their icon, and she is their idol. They can worship her all they want to. And they did it to spite work me, basically, as well. They pretty much, they did that to spite work me. They'll say that they didn't. When this comes out, oh, no, that's not true. That's not true. Okay. Because God has got his people to say otherwise. God has raised up some advanced prophets, okay, that can go deep. And her name will be named in the book. Okay. So, they can praise and worship her all they want to, because that is not going to erase the facts that she has all these crimes that she's committed. She's done a lot. She's done a lot. They got physical evidence on her as well. And I'm not going to go too deep about her, in case y'all may not know that she dated my kingdom spouse that God put me with. She dated him, but they broke up in 2000. I think it was 2021 or maybe 22, early 22. They broke up sometime between those 2 years. And when she found out that my kingdom spouse was secretly in love with me, then she tried to have me killed. She tried to have me killed. She tried to, she slept with one of the FBI agents, and she got them to do a lot of dark stuff to me, to try to harm me in a lot of different ways. And she had told my kingdom spouse that, if he broke up with her, that, she will harm me, she will harm herself, and all this kind of stuff. She did a whole lot of stuff. Last year, it took me the rest of that year, when that stuff started coming out on her, left and right, it took me nearly that whole year to process all the stuff that she done for 4 years. And we found out that everything that happened to me in 2020 to as I'm talking to y'all right now, she was behind it, the mastermind, one of the masterminds behind it, the driving force, not only then, but now as well as I'm talking. She's still doing stuff, still doing it. Okay, everything that the prophets and the and even the psychic world were reporting last year and even this year, absolutely everything correct, 100% or more correct, on the money, on the dot on the line, the little dot on the line. But that's basically all that happened. And so I'm going to end this video. Y'all stay blessed and stay safe.